the cantina. If you were here before, you saw the video I just uploaded. Mazarius went on Twitter and saw something I haven't been paying any attention to. And if you went on the video, I posted it. It is a screenshot of Pablo Hidalgo's Twitter account. Of course, he's got it locked. He's had it locked 4 months. It says retired and having fun. Location, The Hague, the Netherlands. I don't know. Is it real? Is he trolling us? Is it fake? Is it something else? I don't know, but I have to say, it's pretty intriguing, especially when you couple it with the stuff going on with Disney and them laying everybody off. They have gone from laying off the cast members and people that work in the parks, who are at the lowest of the low, to executives now. So there are executives leaving. Alan Bergman is now taking over production from Alan Horn. I don't know much about Alan Bergman. Maybe someone can do some research and hook me up with it so we can figure out who this clown is. But it looks to me there's something weird that he would post that. I guess that's just me. Maybe it's, like I said, wishful thinking, but still, could we really be that lucky for Christmas? At least get something for our pain and suffering. Now, how could this come about? Well, we know that he was heavily involved in the High Republic. We know the High Republic isn't being well received. And in fact, it's gone through a lot of Hey Dave, how you doing? It's gone through a lot of reimagining, at least in the style, and what the characters look like, etc., etc. It's still a shitty idea. Okay, so we know that. But he was behind it. In fact, that whole whiteboard, remember when it was going through all the things he wanted to do with it? He probably was the one that put all that shit together. I mean, it's about as dumb as anything I've ever seen. Diet Sunkissed Orange, because I can't find the Diet Cherry 7-Up. Anyway, so, I mean, I'm only going to theorize, because I don't know. And I'm waiting for someone to come in and say, yeah, we heard the same thing. This is just from his Twitter account. This is me surmising. He's either, again, like I said, trolling us. He's not going anywhere. Or here's an example. There was an Imagineer, the most famous Imagineer at Disney of all time. Big name. They forced him into a retirement. Now, do you see where I'm going with this? He could have been pushed out and said, yeah, you can say you're retired. All right. Remember, Disney makes people sign NDAs. So we'll probably never know. But here's what I speculate. High Republic's not being well received. Nothing that the story group has done has worked. Trashing the EU completely has been a huge mistake. Hidalgo is one of the champions, and he hates the EU. It's well known. He went on a podcast once and basically told people in private, yeah, we're getting rid of it. We hate it. We're getting rid of it. Paraphrasing. Hey, Aaron. The person who outed him with the whole conversation was chased off that podcast. He's been chased off of social media, which is typical. If you want to be on the ends with Lucasfilm at the time, you kissed Hidalgo's ass. Great big fat Chilean ass. That's what you did. But now, what's going on? So there's a bunch of mistakes that he made. Not to mention the bullying, the harassment, and stupid ass behavior, juvenile behavior on Twitter. Okay, Ichibaka has posted many of his tweets extolling the virtues of guillotining the rich. I've talked about it. Him attacking billionaires. I mean, if you want to attack conservatives, you should be attacking millionaires, not billionaires. Billionaire. If there's a billionaire alive who's actually, well, Donald Trump, but he isn't conservative. Okay, he's a populist, and he's liberal. Oh God, did I shock you? Think about it. All right, conservatives, if they are too chicken shit to either say anything if they're billionaires, or they give money to both sides so they can kiss ass either way, and they got everything covered. Elon Musk is a classic liberal like Trump, and he's a realist. I think in order to get where he is with the powerful imagination that he has and his powerful intellect, he is, after all, a genius, a certified genius. You can't be a rigid left-wing douchebag. Okay. When I look at billionaires who are rigid left-wing douchebags like Jeff Bezos or that jackass Bill Gates, they are very smart businessmen and they see opportunities. Hey, Birdie, they don't necessarily create anything. And that's the difference between them and Elon Musk and them and, I would say Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs was far more visionary than Bill Gates. Bill Gates is a little worm. Steve Jobs was a certifiable man of vision, a genius, just like Elon Musk. Anyway, let's go back. So we got Pablo. Now, this is what I surmise happened. When he found out that they were retconning the EU, I just hang with me, okay, 360, because if you go back and watch my video, it's on his Twitter, retired having fun. Bear with me. That they were thinking about retconning the ST at least. That they were thinking about, shit canning a lot of what he worked on. And I could see him throwing a major league Latino temper tantrum and them saying, well, you can retire in 2 years. Okay? Take your shit and get out of here in 2 years. I can see Disney doing that. Because if you remember, he got bitch slapped several times on Twitter by the company. Okay? To where he went and hid, he came back, he complained about it in sort of quasi whatever, but he'd always come back. This time he kept his mouth shut, and he's been staying hidden for a while. So I think if he's retired, if he's gone, they basically said, you're out. As of January 1st or whatever, you're gone. Or maybe at the end of the fourth quarter, financial quarter, you're out. Again, not only does it fit the advent of Jon Favreau, and I can't imagine him and Pablo really having much in common. Now, maybe I'm wrong, but Favreau comes across as just a cool dude. I mean, if you're friends of, here's the deal. If you're friends with Vince Vaughn, you're basically one of my dudes. Okay, period, full stop. I love Vince Vaughn. I think Vince Vaughn is a great guy. I have friends who've met him, and he's just a South Side Chicago guy. He's just a real dude. He's like, any of the rest of them. And he and Favreau have been friends for decades. So there you go. I don't see any of those guys actually liking Pablo. Pablo is a phony, intellectual, he's a red diaper baby and a condescending prick. There you go. So something had to have happened because, he went into hiding on his Twitter account for like about a year ago. So, and, I seem to remember when he was a public Twitter account, he and his wife were out traveling all across Canada on the train. And it's a picture of a train, the Netherlands. I'm kind of, I don't know. I mean, I'm a skeptic, okay? He could be trolling us, which, do we dare hope against hope that he's really gone? It would be a real good step in the right direction. It would also show that Disney doesn't have any confidence in anything he's put out there. And also remember that if they are retconning the ST, that Rey was his girl. And also, Kennedy is his girl. Kennedy kept him around. Kennedy listened to what he was saying, not anybody else who's actually really cared about Star Wars. I find it very difficult to believe that Pablo Hidalgo was ever a real fan of the franchise. And I know from what he said on Twitter that he hated the prequels. Even though around the time of the Revenge of the Sith, he was actually in a scene in Revenge of the Sith as an alien. All right, he was in it. All of this is very, very speculative, but it was kind of a nice thing to see, if it's real or not. I don't know. I don't really. Oh yeah, they did. They did, and I don't think that this. I think this precipitated that. This is my theory. I think when he knew they were going to start retconning the entire sequel trilogy, that they he freaked out and got pissed off, and I think they basically said, "We're doing it. If you don't like it, you can retire." And I think that could have happened. We'll see. I don't know what to think. I'm not speculating on her staying or leaving. I mean, when you watched her announcement, she was spitting nails when she had to announce Hayden Christensen, and I know she had to be throwing a temper tantrum when Luke showed up. And if that's the case, Hidalgo hates Luke too. Like if it's a white alpha male like Han or Luke, Pablo will shit all over him. That's what beta male bullies do. And it had to have pissed him off. And this is, I mean, everybody at Lucasfilm, in one way or another, that was close to the production of Mandalorian, knew Mark Hamill had gone into the studios and with his beard shaved and everything, and he did the scene. Okay, that's Mark Hamill under all that CGI. That really is him. By the way, that's why it works. Okay, it's not de-aged. That's CGI. That's how good it's gotten. If you actually have the real person, there you go. I did a reface, Anthony Gruber gif. I did a reface over with Harrison Ford. Oh my God. That would work. That would work. Get Harrison to come in and do it. And then just do a younger version of him over, and that would work too. You don't necessarily have to de-age them if you can work the CGI to the point where you're literally looking at them 40 years ago. All right, I mean, Luke in that CGI looks to be about 30 years old, which would be, I mean, he's the Grandmaster Jedi in the galaxy. He's literally the one rebuilding the Order, and it would be, anyway, I talked about this before, but the moment I saw Maze's message on Hangouts to me, I knew it was him. I mean, I called it. He was the only Jedi that would show up. Anybody else would have been a letdown. Okay, that's the point. That's how you use the OT characters. Okay, you surprise people, and you surprise people with who they were and who they were becoming as they grew older. You don't take away what they won, what they fought for, you don't degrade them. And that's, I think, the thing that may have precipitated whatever's going on with Pablo going on. Because he hates these people. He hates these characters. He hates George Lucas. I'm going to say that right now. That man has nothing good to say about him. And probably the reason why is every time he said something that was not quite Star Wars, George would say, we're not doing that. George knew what he wanted. All right. And there you go. Now, again, is he gone? I don't know. But the thing about it is, it's intriguing, isn't it? Retired, having fun. Again, I'm 75, he's trolling us. 25%. Please make it real. Oh, please, please, please. I hope. And here's the deal. I think everybody needs something to make them happy. All right. Stephen Walton, last night, Phantom Menace author, had a lot of harsh words to say to the people attacking the fans, the Phantom Menace that likes The Mandalorian. I take their attacks personally because, well, what are you going to do? I ask you a question. Anybody here know what the carrot and the stick is? I got a big black and gold Shiloh Shepherd puppy. He's 6 months old today. Carrot and the stick is, if you do something good, you get the carrot. You do something bad, you get the stick. Okay? The carrot can be, good boy, or progressively getting worse and stronger on the e-collar. So he listens because he selectively listens to people. Same thing with Disney. If they do good, Mandalorian, yay! They do shitty with the ST. We're not going to buy your shit. The people that do like it treat us older fans like crap, and they're still doing it. And I think they have gotten the tree branch upside the head. ST fans don't realize, they think that these movies made billions, and they didn't. I think that Civil War is starting to die. And the reason simply is this. If Pablo is gone, that's one of the major problems right there. Second of all, Kennedy made that announcement. It looked to me like Favreau was kind of upset that she was the one to make all these announcements. Why could that be? Maybe it's because she isn't running Lucasfilm anymore? Or maybe she's not running the major parts of it anymore? Because most of the stuff that was announced was stuff that he's involved in, or Dave Filoni. The thing about it is, I don't know about the story group. If Pablo's retired, but again, gotta remember, Disney's got contracts with these authors, okay? And I'm gonna ask, is it more expensive to cancel their projects than it is to just print them out and pray they make, enough to break even, which they're not going to. Trust me on that. High Republic is gonna suck. It's not gonna sell anything. They literally canceled the Rise of Skywalker comic. All right, think about it. They canceled Dr. Aphra, which was probably, Kristen Hidalgo, Pablo's wife's wet dream. They canceled a lot of Star Wars books. Now you could look at Marvel and saying they're doing it, but you got to remember, Lucasfilm was part of that because they were the ones that brought the authors in. Okay, Chuck Wendig had as much to do when he was brought in. It had as much to do with Pablo as it did with Marvel. Okay, with publishing. Just a minute, Kojak. And it. I mean, this is just me going. So what I'm gonna tell you guys is this: everything needs to be taken with a grain of salt. all of this. But just you can find clues in things that are being said. Favreau didn't like the fact that Kennedy made that announcement. Right off the bat, you only see two things that she's really involved with. Three, if you add Indiana Jones 5. Children of Blood and Bone, Acolyte, which I don't think Acolyte or Blood and Bone will ever be made. I mean, that's busy work for her as far as I'm concerned, but I don't know. Indy 5 has got the get-go. They, for some reason, truly believe that they really need her to be part of that production team. And I'm like, why? My dog could do her job smarter and better, okay? But there you go. We have to remember that she did threaten to take the whole house down on the way out. But I really don't know what her threatening the financial guys would really do for her. I can see Iger running screaming. I can see, Alan Horn is being moved to a different place. Bergman is being put in. I don't know what that means. But it seems like she's being kind of isolated. The rest of the stuff that I saw up there on the slate, except for maybe Lando, all belongs under the Favreau-Filoni banner. Favreau has the Boba Fett thing. He's got Rangers of the New Republic. And I think he's also working on Ahsoka. Okay? And third season of Mandalorian is in pre-production right now. And all of the scripts are already ready to go. So, you know what I'm saying? There's something weird going on. Then, of course, you've got the lack of interest in anything that has to do with the story group. You can't tell me that the novels that came before the High Republic were that successful. They weren't. It just doesn't work that way, to me, in my opinion. I don't see it. All right. So, what I did, all right, in the video that I made about this, with the bio on there, I put my email address. And if you know more and you want it spill, email me. I'm here. I'll write you right back. Yeah, you're right. And you're right, Carl. And, it's really funny. Then I'm going to let you go because I need to clean up my kitchen because I got to take the dog for a walk. And I got to go see the horse. Here's the thing that I find really just funny. The ST fans that are out there, and they're not many of them, but they're loud, screaming at everybody saying it's being retconned. It's being retconned before their eyes and they don't see it. Also to the extremist EU fans, you might not get what you want, but what you're going to get is a hell of a lot better than what we got, okay? And it might actually be better than the EU, all right? So just give it a chance and stop complaining, okay? Because shit is happening. It's obvious. But yeah, the ST fans think it made millions and it sold all this merchandise, and there's no proof. They never bring up stats. We can bring up stats. We can show you what Hasbro's saying. We can show you what was it, Champion Toys saying they're not going to sell any more sequel trilogy or any Star Wars stuff at all. You can see it when they post stuff like Dark Ray or something like that, and people are mocking it on Facebook, on Instagram. Okay, it's just, so they don't have much to say, but they get really, really defensive. That tells me they're scared to death. For what reason? They'll still have their Twilight space opera, but it just won't be part of the actual real Star Wars anymore. It'll just be out there. They can enjoy it. I'm not being mean, I'm being honest, okay? Star Wars has to go on, and it can't, I'll leave you with this. If anybody can figure out what Rey, Poe, and Finn were gonna do after The Force Awakens, or after The Rise of Skywalker, please come find me. Because nothing I've thought of, nothing anybody's thought of, has actually made any sense or sounded interesting. It's, I mean, all the proof that you really need that something is going on is the fact that none of those characters got a show. The only one who did is in a sequel trilogy character, and that's Cassian Andor. Right? So, anyway, I gotta go. I got stuff I gotta do. I just want to do a short live because I'm really like, do I open up the champagne yet? All right, anyway, see you around the galaxy, guys, and I will do a Christmas message. Talk to y'all later.